Can they force the issue before Liquid is ready?
I think so. If the lanes go well for Newbie in this game, they have the tools to very quickly snowball this game out of control. Getting the Roshan, getting towers, plenty of ways of doing it. I think for Liquid it's very crucial that they get to use the Ion Shell on Juggernaut in the earlier stages of the game for fights, because they, apart from that, they don't have that much they're bringing to the table. They have the Lich and Shaker, who are both in each their ways fairly slow build-up supports. Lich wins a lane, but still takes some time. Shaker as a roamer is pretty lackluster with specific heroes. I don't think he has that great synergy here. He's with a Darkseer that's like okay. The Necrophos mid he can't necessarily kill with, and then the Juggernaut is possible, but difficult, right? So
yep.
I'm looking for Liquid's lineup to struggle to find kills early, and if Newbie can capitalize on that, finding their own and this time push and not face an Alchemist late in the draft, this time they can actually convert it into a win. I think this is Newbie's best draft of the finals. If they can't win this game, then Liquid's just hands down the better team today, like by quite a lot.
They do have the advantage in the laning phase of Vision while supporting it to get that early game you're talking about, avoiding the kills, the rotations of GH being effective. The two Observer Wards from Newbie focus on that hillside to the south of the bottom rune, and the other one smack bang in the middle lane. So Vision is covering the south as well as the mid. Earthshaker, he wants to rotate up towards top lane and try and kill off the Centaur. Warrunner, good luck, it's going to take you some time to do it. So they're feeling very secure in that lane. In fact, they're even going to run a double lane. Kaka as well as KP are together, so they have a double stun lineup, which should be very, very effective against Miracle. They just have to keep Miracle away from the lanes, and Kaka already doing it. Burrow Strike, Wolf Stomp, they're dropping the Juggernaut down to 1/3 of his life. If Kaka can get this body block up as well, Miracle trying to create a little bit of space. Newbie, Miracle has to be forced into the spin. You got a secondary Burrow Strike. They can go under the tower, but they won't do it. Healing Sound plus Tango being burnt by Miracle. He'll stay safe under the tier 1.
Good initial pressure from Newbie on this lane.
Oh, wait, there you go.
Trying to connect up.
The fissure was raised, but not thrown.
There's no kill potential in this mid lane. SCC can't die to these two heroes. There is just absolutely no way unless he completely scoops up somehow. So GH is just trying to do whatever little he can to just pressure SC and force him to use some regen. That fissure did pretty much nothing. And SC is having a good time here, forcing MATUMBAMAN under his tower with this double wave. And now GH is like, okay, not really happening in mid. I'm going to move towards top. Maybe there's an opportunity here. Good fissure.
With the Frostbite and the last attack from Kuro, flying over the rock wall. First blood's built. Very, very aggressive.
This is what I'm praising GH for so much. It's that game sense, you know, like he goes mid, just shows himself. Newbie are like, okay, Shaker's mid. He vanishes from mid, immediately goes for this play that is, the way I see it, his only kill on the map is this exact hero with this exact ally. It's very specific subset of things that need to happen, and Liquid set it up beautifully and get themselves first blood on the Lich. So Kuro getting some fast boots out. We'll have plenty of money to take care of courier duty as well. It's another fissure mid. GH has the arcane rune. Might as well be a little bit annoying with that.
He actually holds the creep.
Bounty runes.
He holds the creep way back far enough that MATUMBAMAN doesn't even have it come on. Okay, now I'll come onto the tower, but that's a double wave for Death Prophet to try and farm up, which is a nice injection of CS and experience into him, unless GH wants to do something about it. But the Observer Ward from Newbie does scout it out, so even if this vision does fly, you can see SCCC understands just how tanky he is and just how much of a hard time Newbie will have to, Liquid will have to kill him.
Yes.
GH at the same time, recognizing that the bounty runes cannot have been picked up because all of Newbie's heroes have been showing, so he goes and takes the enemy bounty rune first. Now he can still go back toward his own. He has a full minute to do that. Just going to fissure off Faith, really annoying. Mind Control actually coming in here with a level 2 Ion Shell. Faith, there is a crevice to get through.
He just needs a little bit more movement speed.
He's going to be fine.
330 versus the 295. Good for a Shaman to have those early boots to keep the run going. Still want to keep my eyes pretty closely on mid. I know it's mainly because we've had the Earthshaker rotating around, but this is the time when Kaka finally moves off the top lane. It is daytime, which makes it difficult for him to close the distance. There is no dire Observer Ward watching this mid lane. The GH is back. Faith is here as well. Everyone's prepping, apart from Kaka, who's just having a one-on-one battle with Kuro. But GH has to be careful of where he is. Faith comes up, the Observer Ward is there, knows what he's up against, and everyone's just going to run away. But this is a lot better start for Newbie when you look over it like, yeah, okay, you gave away first blood, but Mugi's getting really good farm. SCCC is getting really good farm in the mid lane. KP's finding experience on the off lane, so that Stampede arriving at an earlier time is great for Newbie to disengage from Team Liquid's aggression.
He's getting good CS as well on the Centaur. I think this hero can hold flat a lot of the time. I think it's really weak without any items. Like there's a lot of other offlaners in this patch that deal better with being put under pressure, but Centaur really needs like that blink dagger to start having an impact. And then compare it over to the Darkseer, where sure, if you don't have the mech, maybe it's not the best hero, but you can at least utilize your team with that Ion Shell. All Centaur really offers is a Stampede. It's nice, but it's an ultimate, so no, then you're kind of a walking ulti at that point almost. It's a bit hard to get as much out of your hero. So it's very good news for Newbie that all three of their cores are getting good farm.
Kuro is trying to get that aggressive Observer and Sentry Ward down behind KP. Either that, they run in towards the mid. Fate able to reveal like Kuro and GH, both Frost Blast and the Fissure being committed. Facing negligible damage as MATUMBAMAN wants to go underneath the tower. Kuro does put the Observer Ward down. A quick ping came out from Shaman saying that he's around here.
He's trying to see if he can get eyes on Kuro and see that he used the ward, but he might just assume that was the case. See, there's no
He'll get vision now. He's walking underneath an Observer Ward.
Right.
So yeah, they're pinging, and they pinged exactly the spot of that Observer Ward.
Essentially, it is a guess. Kuro could have also put it on the cliff to the left, but it seems like Newbie guessed right. Let's see when they get a sentry out to this ward. That ward is very good.
Probably one of the reasons too why they scanned, like they scanned on top of the camps, just to the north of that point. They're trying to work out if he ran over the top of the Ancients or not.
Fairly quiet.
They got Faith up here as well. They're looking at Miracle. Now, do they actually? They don't have the Hex. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Kuro, the Shackles available. Okay, now that Hex is up. Level 3, he was holding on to it. KP with a double edge. Be Faith that takes the kill. So a good movement up from Newbie. They're going to support at exactly the same point they lost their support. Boogie's having the greatest time in the world on bottom. 21 denies and 33 last hits.
This is still a good Darkseer lane though. Mind control on this hero has had a really high impact in a lot of situations in a lot of games, and it fits very well into Liquid's playstyle of just being able to shove out lanes to get information. So the fact that Darkseer is getting this many levels and farm is, you know, it's still a farm Veno for sure, but Mind control top lane, like getting his.
Miracle, where's that follow-up? Have they got the stun? They do, so there's no spin available with Spirit Siphon. Miracle just has to tank the physical damage, which he cannot do. Great movement up from SCCC, and they can bring that Exorcism to bear on the Tier 1 tower on the top.
Definitely going to go for that here. Now that he made the whole rotation up there, they want to get some
ow.
Boogie.
Even trying to surge GH away from that fight. The Observer Ward from Newbie, seeing Kuro moving to the top. Kaka and KP, they've already set the trap, starting off with a double edge, but no, he attacks first with the Frost Armor, slowing up Kaka. He doesn't have the mana anyway, so he cannot get the Burrow Strike off, but is allowing SCCC to attack into the tower. That's the more important thing, the creep skipping. But the TP arriving back, so Miracle back into the lane, stopping the tower from falling at least. But it's KP, yeah, he cuts through the trees. Quelling Blade, he doesn't have Hoof Stop, they're so short on mana. At least they got the Burrow Strike back on Kaka, but no more creep wave under the tower, really.
They got a lot of damage into that tower. They've lost 1,000 health, and the trade-off is, I guess Matumba did some decent chip damage in mid, but Faith is getting good levels, and you look at this newbie lineup and you feel like, okay, when they have all of these ultimates available and they have their key items, they will just start almost like Death Bowl, kind of, with their heroes. They just really want to group up as 5 and take objectives. The question is if Liquid will have the tools to deal with it in time. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the first Roshan from newbie pretty early in the game, and if Liquid want to get it, they have to steal it. They can't take it themselves. It's very unrealistic. GH is
really close to Faith. Fresh Observer Ward down. He's got his own Observer Ward down as well, so Faith will hex it quickly. Shackles not available. In fact, he used the Ether Shock, so the mana isn't available. In fact, now with Mookie moving over, they have enough to slow through the Plague Ward. Gale going to connect on his target, SCCC. And with the Plague Ward up on the hill, realize no one else is there from Team Liquid. But while that's going on, top lane, the spin from Miracle. He has the Omni Slash available, but the Burrow Strike from Kaka, holding Miracle in position. He'll go into the trees, taking a lot of damage from the tower. Has to have the Healing Ward to give him life. Kaka, Burrow Strike in 2 seconds time. He can go once more, but the Healing Ward's causing problems, but maybe not enough. He has the damage, does he? The Healing Ward, protection's available with the spin on Miracle. He'll live and sail back up once more.
If KP had 100% faith in that perfect Sandking stun, I think they could have killed the Jugger together. I'm pretty sure he had double edge ready again. So newbie, a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but still good for them to survive at the very least, get their Centaur out of trouble. The lanes continuing with the pressure. Venomancer takes the bottom tier 1, top tier 1. The next on the menu for him. As Miracle.
Right spin, dodging that hook stun from KP Kaka. He doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike, and there was nothing he could do while Miracle was immune. But MATUMBAMAN could do something else. He's ready to wrap around the back. The creep wave's coming under the tower.
The classic Necrophos dive.
Yeah, Reaper Size is available. What are you going to do, MATUMBAMAN? You want to do damage to him? I suppose you can hide invisible. That's a great way to dodge it.
Works pretty well. You can still hit Death Pulse, but you would need to lose like 4 or 5 of them to kill off Kaka, and Kaka's just going to back off, get clarity.
Boogie's ready to fight again now. Feeling the pressure coming on the top lane. They'll fortify up. Base moving up as well, so Team Liquid, they were hoping for a free tier 1 tower on this top lane. It ain't gonna happen. Boogie's got his combination ready. And there's a lot of farm. In fact, the fact that Creep Wave is hitting that bottom tier 1 tower is warning bells for Team Liquid to back off the top lane.
I think we're gonna look at the smoke here in a moment for Newbie. They're grouped up as 3 with the Poison Nova available as well from Newbie. Could try to look for a kill in this top area into that tier 1 tower. If they kill the Juggernaut here, for example, that tower is theirs for the taking. Meantime, though, it's slow here. There will be a stun coming in from the Sand King.
Miracle has Omni Slash available, but he knows he doesn't want to do it when Sandstorm's available. That's not the way for him to find a kill.
Kaka just wants to push the wave out and get a ward out. He's sitting on 2 wards in the Sand King, but can't really use it. There's the Stampede, though, and this will be the kill.
The Shackles hold him there. That's a huge kill. Miracle to fall with Moogie already up. The tier 1 tower in the top lane stays numbered.
I love plays like this where you can tell Newbie have already set up and coordinated and are ready.
Kaka, they can set up on this one. Kaka, Burrow Strike. He cannot survive, but MATUMBAMAN still having the range for the aura. Level 3 in it. They kill off Kaka, but he doesn't get scythed to death at least. But a lot of pressure on top lane.
Defending their tower actually. They do have Mass Serpent Wards. I think if they flop those down together with the Plague Wards, they will be getting the tower, but
Fate's backing off.
Fate wants to go mid instead.
Yeah, they're switching their attack to work with SCCC, who's got the Exorcism available.
This might be a good idea. I mean, the top tower is pretty low, right? So it's a big ultimate commitment for such a low tower. This way, they make sure they have a 2-lane siege.
They're going to get a Burrow Strike around the back if possible. GH is looking to defend. Kaka and Massa wants Vision to go out. Burrow Strike going to connect on that mid lane. Exorcism is out soon. GH low on life, doesn't want to come close, but it's Necrophos who's shackled up, taking a lot of damage from that Exorcism base. No, he's going to die. No, Catapult bouncing off the Chain Frost. The Dark Sea of back wall. Being able to make a little bit more problems. Fissure is out, so Kaka being broken out of his Sandstorm, out of the Invis. SCCC wants to bring the damage in close, but with 3 heroes already rotated over from Team Liquid, it just ain't gonna happen. The only thing which is happening for Newbie is that top tier 1 tower being claimed by Moogie.
This mid tower will hit tonight. So they got all 3 tier 1s at 12 minutes, which is a very good timing, but not really too much of a gold lead to show for it. They've lost a couple of heroes. I think Kaka's dive there on the Shaker, very optimistic. Like, there's no real follow-up to it, so they couldn't really turn that Sand stun into anything, and he ends up dying in the end together with the Shaman. Liquid are just playing the small advantages that they do have in the moments to keep it a pretty even game. So they have a couple of towers to claim, which means Liquid are ahead on raw farm. There's more gold on the map for them in these towers. Let's see if they want to make a move of their own.
Well, they're coming to bottom lane, but KP's already out. TP very quickly away.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, but if they pressure bottom lane, Moogie's already up on top to continue the pressure. You have Stampede available, so it kind of gives Newbie the confidence to go a little bit deeper than they normally would. And the fact they're doing that means they can potentially catch out GH. GH is the man who's found Blink Daggers at insane rates. Now just has to run away. Sandking has that level 3 Burrow Strike. He does not have the range on GH just yet, but when GH holds behind the tower, the Observer Ward, it doesn't see him. He's in a small crevice. Now he comes out. Faith will see him. And well, no, they're not going to use it just yet. Necrophos starting his TP in. So Faith will just drag the waves down.
I actually thought Kaka had eyes on him earlier and they were going to Stampede for it, but I guess he was just outside of the range of Sandking. So no kill and Liquid defend. So buying more time for their lineup. They just need space and time to farm and get these towers. Juggernaut is doing a pretty good job here. Miracle finding some good farm. The Darkseer has been relatively quiet, but it will now be completing the mech soon.
Dire's middle
GH's
tower
Blink, you were
is
talking
under
about
attack.
it. It's 900 away, but he can farm it pretty quickly with this Ion Shell help from Mind Control.
As long as he times the last hits, right?
Oh, he's letting Mind Control get some of the CS.
He'll take that. He'll take the last 2. Yep. But this is still a good position for Dota2. Like we've been looking for something that gets them back into this series, and having real superb team fight from Newbie, which is an essential thing against Liquid's sustain. That's what it's all about. That's going to give us our clash. That's going to give us our clash we were really searching for.
Yes.
Newbie need to get a Roche, I think. Get some wards out here, start putting that pressure. They have the Mass Serpent wards, they have the Exorcism. It's a lot of ulti commitments, but it would be a good move. Instead, they're going to turn it into a rotation toward top into tier 2. That's also a great high impact play if they can pull it off.
If they can kill MATUMBAMAN, is the man looking to build a Radiance. Fate's just going to get close enough to get the next thing to the observer what they have behind. They see everything stampeding forward. Exorcism is down. It's a lot of damage. KP is taken, but they'll still get the kill onto MATUMBAMAN. SCC once more. Kuro TP'd in to try and help out, but now he's trapped. Karka, no Burrow Strike for another 2 seconds, but the Exorcism will do the work, and Kuro, Karka even commits it to ensure it. So that's 2 kills up on the top lane, and now pressure to the tier 2 tower.
Looks like Liquid don't want to give up the tower though. They're going to send in Shaker and Darkseid to try and delay this push.
Well, Master was it down. Liquid might think twice about it. At least Mind Control gives the buckler effect for Karka. Burrow Strike, he's looking at Mind Control, but knowing that GH has the vision behind the lines is not what they want to go into. So they'll let the Master Wars die, or maybe not. Miracle coming in from the south. Burrow Strike up. Karka actually dodging the Vac, but he cannot dodge the spin of Miracle. There's also Iron Shell bumped up, double TP's out, SCCC, his TP's coming off cooldown in a second. He had to move one of his null talismans out of his backpack, and now starts it, but GH Echo slams it down. The silence, it needed to connect on the Earthshaker.
Yep. He tried to get the silence on both of them, both the Jugger and Shaker, but GH was just out of range.
Difficult to do when you don't have that vision.
I think if he committed for a silence on Shaker, he might have lived. I'm not sure if Juggernaut had enough damage with Iron Shell and level 1 Omni Slash to actually even kill the DP out of the TP there, but... Good kills for Liquid. They defend their tower, and they play these small advantages. They had 2 dead heroes, and they still defended their tower and found exit kills, just using that Ion Shell and the rotating Juggernaut very well.
I'm still interested though, like when Newbie have that big strength, when they find these exit kills, Liquid are coming in force, understanding they can find them, because you haven't felt the effect of the Venomancer yet. Boogie continues to farm up, and he only really comes to join the fights when this tier 1 tower on the top lane is being threatened. And that's what they're doing. Observe wards on the hillside. Face going to move in close enough. They'll get the connection. Follow Shackles. The finisher dies from GH. Hawk stop. Stampede from KP. Direct GH space. Lich holding won't continue its bounce, however. But KP's on the wrong side of the tracks. Omni Slash. They have enough damage to get through Karka. But Miracle trapped under the towers. KP still alive. He ran all the way up to the north. Even has his Blinker Bubble and steals the bounty rune from Team Liquid. It's a call for a support. The top tower. It does fall in favor of MATUMBAMAN, who committed in. SCC's Spirit Sight, but not enough to dissuade him from the attempt.
Liquid were looking for a Vacuum into Fissure combo there, and they got it off decently, but not fully. And the Stampede allowed them to disengage and get out. That looked really scary for Newbie. If they don't have Stampede there, they lose like 3 or 4 heroes. So they're really key abilities for them to have against this Liquid lineup. And it's very clear there. You can see what the idea behind the Centaur pick was.
Shaker has his Blink Dagger.
Yep.
They've got that initiation now onto GH.
If he had that fight, that would have been a stomp for him. So
yep.
Newbie can't afford to get vacuumed like that again. If they get 2 or 3 hero backed into Shaker Echo, the fight's just lost.
Yep.
Gotta be really careful.
That's when they're going to need maneuverability. From both Stampede, the space creation from Centaur, the fact that Venomancer will soon have his full Hurricane Pike. You need a Yule Scepter for SCCC to stay alive, and that is coming out in the courier. In fact, both of those items are arriving on the courier. Maneuverability getting better. Interestingly, the Faith is actually not helping him out with maneuverability. He's going straight for push lineup. He's going for the Aghanim Scepter rush on the Shaman after having just the Arcane Boost.
Kind of shows what the game plan is, right? You want the Shaman to hit a timing when they can just go to try and hit the game. A lot of the time we see Shamans go for Staff Claymore or Blink. And all 3 items have their value in this game.
That's a nice room. Double damage room, but the bad thing is the Echo Slam catching out at SCCC. They're already using the Hurricane Pike to get him free for the Stampede. They'll turn around, Massive towards it down 2. They find the kill of the Earthshaker. Now Newbie want to roll with the momentum into Mind Control, who stands his ground, taking it for the team. Exorcism has been burnt, and there is a creep wave here to work with. But what Newbie want is something bigger. They want Roshan.
This is their good timing for this. 10 seconds on Shaker, 30 on the Darkseer. don't think Liquid are in any position to contest this. This was the big moment we were waiting for Newbie, where they find the key kills close to that objective. And getting the full value out of Exorcism here. He's even going to heal up to full here. Estes did so much damage with the ghosts that he's ready to go somewhere else. Roche will fall, and they'll probably give the Aegis to the Venomancer.
And it is on Boogie. GH has to be really sad. That was the first reveal of his Blink Dagger, and it didn't really come to the big impact they wanted. Miracle has still been able to find a lot of farm in the meantime, rapidly approaching his Manta style. But he's still behind the net worth, only by 600. And that's to the Venomancer. Hurricane Pike, Aegis Immortal. What else? He hasn't have anything else coming out at the moment. He's just got those critical items.
The Pike made that fight, by the way. So the Force Staff or the Pike usage immediately on the Death Prophet got him into a very good position where Newbie could counter-engage. Not sure, Liquid were probably not accounting for that play when GH jumped in. It's just like, okay, if we catch anyone, they don't have any save in their lineup. They have Stampede, which they can't use when they're stunned, but no, that little bit of Force Staff usage there really turned the tides for Newbie, giving them a big fight in the Roche. I'd be looking for more of that from them. It's still a very close game.
Yeah, that's actually the real first advantage that Newbie have got. Just the fight straight out. So they go up in the gold, they go up in the experience, but you're still hovering around that 2k just above and below for experience and gold advantage in favor of Newbie. That's not really enough to say you have a victory over Team Liquid. In fact, even if you had 20k, you don't think you had a victory over Team Liquid.
You're 20k ahead of you, 22, that's generally a win.
That would be...
I don't know if I've ever seen a team come back from that. Well, you know, they're just 18k off, so if they get that in the next 30 seconds, then you're right. Maybe. Looking forward to that play out of Newbie.
Thanks for your analysis, Minrin. You're absolutely... You're a dear. Shaker ready to fight on bottom lane already. Newbie are feeling someone is down here. They're scanning inside their own jungle, waiting for the Liquid attack. This is where Moogie needs to get those Plague Wards down, get really good vision, which Liquid already have. That Observe Ward just to the south side of the tree line. They see the defense that Newbie have in position, even in this nighttime cycle.
This is actually something we didn't talk about at all about Liquid's lineup. I think this is the first lineup from Liquid we've seen today in all of their games where they don't have a single vision hero. And that is, to me, this TI has been more about vision than any other TI.
Oh, by top lane. Echo Slam, Kaka.
That's what happens if you don't have vision, and you die. Meanwhile, on bottom,
Matumba?
got a little bit of a book reading club in the bottom of the map.
Oh, sorry, book reading club, they're going to be down here in a while. Maybe you can cut down the trees, make some paper, and write something interesting.
These two heroes, probably, they look like they spend a lot of years reading.
Well, Lich does come with his own book.
Yep.
Oh, look over my shoulder and read, Matumbaman.
Do you guys want to get out?
I'm not
TPs, they're just standing there.
They're scanning. They don't see anything. Like, they have their Observer Ward near the tower, but they don't know where Venomancer and Shadow Shaman have left to. Like, if they wanted to, they could drop Mass Observer Wards at the tier 2 tower bottom.
They want to cut the wave. I thought they were just going to TP out, but saving the TP scroll so they have the ability to move around the map, and we'll just, Matumba feels safe now to walk up and take care of business here, get those creeps killed. Almost has the Radiance. It's a big item in this game for the Necrophos. Just ramping up that farm, synergy with the Veil.
You know, the more and more I'm looking at this game, the more and more issues I see Team Liquid taking high ground. Like, you look at the build coming in from Moogie, going to go in for the Maelstrom into Colonia. Like, that is a lot of bonus damage, a lot of push. Kuro, Moogie actually stopped attacking for half a second. It's the Crypt Swarm from SDC that will reach him.
They should drop the circle here, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, you're going to have ward-on-ward action, and then you have even more push coming in from the Maelstrom. I don't know if Liquid can really knock down that wall fast enough. And even if they do get advantage of the game, how do you then push against a Newbie when they have a pre-prepared position?
It's difficult. It is really difficult for Liquid's heroes to take a fight into this Newbie lineup, and Newbie know it, so they're just going to go for one tower into the next. This Aegis the Immortal on Venomancer, he could just cross straight down to the bottom and take that tower, or just try to go for High Ground.
Yeah, put down a Plague Ward, at least see what's there.
They have Arcane Rune on the Death Prophet, so...
Darkseer just TP back in. The Plague Wars don't see it deep enough. They only see Matumba, but they don't see Kuro mind control and GH. So Exorcism is up for the Death Prophet. She has it. You also have to take a lot of damage, but the Mass Surf was also down. Matumba taking the damage in order to get rid of a couple of them. Moogie, there's more wards where they came from. That mid tower dropping quickly. 600, 500 fortification used by Team Liquid, trying to hold them out. Mind Control trying to wrap around through the north, hoping to get into the back lines of Newbie, but that wonderful back combination doesn't happen. In fact, Surgeons to get back inside the base and keep the defense going. The tier 3 tower at 283, but it looks like enough. Newbie are happy with the chip damage. They will now disengage.
They can wait another minute to have Exorcism again, but then they won't have their Aegis anymore. So see what Newbie's play call is. I think it's a difficult one to make without the Aegis the second time. This time that was not too difficult for them to realize that was definitely favoring them.
It's the items you're looking for. So Aegis times out. The pipe is actually flying out the courier right now to KP, so they'll have that extra control. The Rod of Atos has also arrived for SCCC. They've got a lot of immunity on him. Dual Scepter, Hood of Defiance, and now Rod of Atos. That's 1640 worth of HP, but somehow they need to find the damage on Liquid to get through. You're still working on Diffusal Blade for Miracle. That's not there, and life gets even harder. A full Radiance is done. Oh, at least for the Necro, so I say harder for Newbie in the team fight to get every single hit.
Taka?
Yeah, middle of nowhere. And side. Executed.
They didn't know GH was there. He blinked into the side, and then GH saw him. He's like, wait, what? Cast a couple spells, got the kill from Matumba. Nice little Reaper kill, so 1 minute out of play.
I think GH stole Inflame's luck for finding everyone in the tree line.
I think Inflame's vision. That's like it's a bit of a different story when you're playing Rocket Batman. And I think Liquid are doing a good job in this
Miracle.
game.
In his vision of this, he's starting his spin. He won't have time. He can't TP out now. The Stampede, they're trying to close the distance so the Hex from Faith can come out. The Blade Ward going to block the retreat off the Juggernaut. He doesn't know it. That's why the movement path sent him back towards the south. Casey comes in to lend the extra stun, and Juggernaut will fall on the top lane. I don't know if Liquid can really get a rebuttal. They're pushing in the mid lane, so at least they get momentum.
Pretty rare mistake from Miracle. He seems to always have these TP things under control and he's playing Juggernaut, but that time he didn't have it in his inventory. Uses the spin, he's like, wait, I don't have a TP. Has to run to the side shot and just gets caught and killed. And a big kill at that. No, it probably enables Newbie to, if not take this top tower, then at least force rotation and deal with their problems bottom when the Sand King was dead for a minute.
The top tier 2 tower has 451 HP. Like that's not worth the defense. And there's a siege catapult coming in as well. All they can look for is range. Oh, wait, what?
Okay,
that's what is it? We were casting, okay, bottom lane. We might go back to that moment on top lane. Gale out from Moogie. Nova being committed. GA starting his TP. He also will end up cancelling that one. Necro wants to run away. The Lynch ult, he gonna bounce perfectly. GA has the stun. Moogie's BKB will also be expended to hold that lane. Was it LFY we were talking about, who were just so efficient with their usage of abilities? You never committed more than you had to. That was a heavy commitment from Newbie to put down the Mass Serpent Wards.
Yeah, I didn't really like their positioning very much on that play. They Eul up the Shaker and then they meleeed him so he could stun them, and that set up the Chain Frost. Also used the Silence way too early on the Death Prompt. So a little bit of a misplay, forcing them to use the BKB with that Zeno. TP was obviously completely fine with that Hood, taking very minimal damage from the Lich ulti.
But this is what Newbie kind of need to tease out at the moment. You're 2 games down. They happen in a really dominant fashion. So we didn't really touch on it much. The fact that Newbie have to pick themselves up from such a defeat during the biggest match of their lives. It's the TI Grand Final.
I like the way Fly talked about it just logically, you know? It's like, you need to win 3 games. You can win the first 3 games, you can win the last 3 games. It doesn't matter if you win 3 games. And if they need to lose 2 games to figure out what it is Liquid are so good at and how they need to draft against them, then those are losses you're willing to take. And I think those first 2 games for Newbie were really drafting experience. I don't think they misplayed horribly. I don't think they were like, oh, coordination is so bad. They needed to learn how to play Dota against this Liquid team. And if this game is any indication, this is definitely the best chance they've had so far at taking a game off them. They stole the Venomancer, they banned out the Nature's Prophet. They are the ones playing the high-tempo push style with these heroes that can knock down objectives, and Liquid are more on the back foot.
That they are. But they need to get into the front lines. Their 4-man smoke will try and do this. Same time, Newbie will look to do the same kind of thing, but he didn't have the mana on Faith. He's grouping up with the rest of Newbie around Roshan, which is up. So if you do lose the tier 2 tower, no one's defending this. They'll even burn Exorcism of SCCC to ensure this Roshan goes down very, very quickly. But yeah, as you mentioned, Faith, he went back to regenerate as well as pick up the Aghanim Scepter. Liquid, they are coming. But do they get here quick enough? The Plague Wards are down. Taka staying outside the pit. They know that Liquid will have to come from the south. The Hex is out already. Miracle spinning inside the pit. Roshan's down low. The back wall is nice. The Master force it down too. But the Anchor is left. Highland Jonesy, it's huge. 3 down for Nubi. They need to be able to find the BKB to allow Mugi to survive with Miracle. Killing off Roshan, taking the Agency model. The Master wants to his diddly squad at the moment. Even the side, heavy damage into Mugi on the retreat. The Burrow Strike not hitting the money. Kaka has to retreat back out again. The Plague War's making it difficult for Liquid just to get out of this scot-free. But now defusing way down from Miracle, catching up Mugi, ending the dominating streak. And the big advantage that Nubi had just disappeared.
It's a beautiful combo here from between the Darkseer and the Earthshaker. So look at how GH backs off to the bottom right. Mind Control runs and gets the 2-man back wall. And Shaker Fissure into Blink Echo here. And Kaka can't really get in from the right-hand side. He was getting his Blink cancelled by the Radiance of MATUMBAMAN you see walking in. So this whole team fight for Nubi just didn't work out. I think the problem for them is that they didn't have the right heroes in the right position to break the smoke. Shadow Shaman was in an awkward spot. Oh,
that is not a good facial expression.
KP was not ready. They needed to have a better spread around the pit with Centaur to the, I think, to the bottom and the Sanking to the top right, so that 2 assault angles of Liquid would get countered by heroes with blinks. And instead Liquid just got an opening, ran in for it. Nobody stopped the Darkseer.
That prepared position I was talking about doesn't exist when the Venomancer is still down or having to buy back when the push arrives. Miracle with the Aegis Immortal does the first bit of damage to the Nubi base, beating into the tier 3 tower. KP's watching him, and they're looking. They get the Hex over on GH, but the space gets caught out. Traveling through his own Hex, quick Menazal out. KP looking for the hold stop, but GH is finished. Right the money. Kaka coming in, looking for any kind of stuns that they can. So Liquid have overcommitted. Lot of Batos onto the Necrophos. You've lost your Shadow Shaman, but Venomancer back to the World of Living. Nova's available too. Miracle, you can bleed him out, but remember he's still got the secondary life. The Burrow Strike, they're just trying to chip away at him. That tier 3 tower, it's going, it's gone. Miracle will grab it. The spin, he wants to back out now with no magic community. It's too risky to stick around, but they got what they wanted. Tier 3 tower down. The shrines are now opened up, unless Liquid. Do they want to? Do you have Blink Echo Slam? They could just reinsert. And that is exactly what they're looking for.
Nubi don't have information, so they're gonna take it easy. Got the ward down.
Oh, get away from there, KP. Mind Control. He doesn't have vision on the high ground. It's just a fact. They lost their ward, trying to back it down.
Yeah, they saw the vacuum with their Plague Ward, got vision. Liquid are gonna back out. So we were talking tradition earlier, or at least the panel were, that this is the year that, you know, China won the last year. It generally alternates. That's one of the things we always have. We've never had a repeat champion in Nubi, but if Liquid win this game, we will have one tradition broken. There's never been a 3-0 in the finals. It's always been 3-1 or 3-2, and Liquid right now could make a little bit of extra history, if you will, by being the first team to get that clean sweep. It's actually a bit crazy when you think about it. It's been 6 previous TIs and never a clean sweep 3-0. You would think it would happen once. This could very well be the year. With that last team fight from Liquid, they put themselves in a very good position.
And even the TI4 finals went 3-1, and that's saying a bit.
There was 3-1 at every TI except TI3.
Yeah, when it went to the full 5.
That was the only 5 games that we've had, I think.
Alliance is the only time we actually went to 5 at TI.
Yeah.
And it took until Kiev for a repeat at a Valve event at the Major for us also to go to 5, which was the VP OG match.
Has there even been a 3-0 in a Major final? There might have been once. I'm not sure about that.
Radiant's bottom
We can leave that to the boys who love to post up stats. For now, Team Liquid, all they want to do is be crowd champions. And they are working their way towards it. The top 2 networks now belong to the Juggernaut as well as the Necrolite. And Nubi, it's a huge ask. They have to defend, and they know they've lost control of this game. The gold graph has swung by about 10,000 in favor of Team Liquid, not to mention the experience graph racking up about 12k to 13k movement. This is a hard ask, but at least Nubi have Plague Wards up from Mugi this time around. They'll have the defense.
Is that a full butterfly? Oh, he has a full butterfly trigger coming in. That's like the perfect timing for this push as well. He has another 40 seconds on the Aegis, so he's just going to run in and start hitting.
The perfect timing, but watch that Aegis Immortal. If we hit 33-30, you'll know the Aegis will be timing out pretty shortly, but Miracle making the most of that 30 seconds, feeding into the tower. KP with the hawk stomp. They have an extra silence. Juggernaut can't do damage. The fortification's doing its work. Not to mention Spirit Side, but Karka, Forest Right, can they wait that a little bit longer? For another 20 seconds so that Aegis is probably gone, but Team Liquid, once again, they go up, they take the tower, and they're looking to come back in once more. Watch that Aegis of the Immortal. They jump in, the hawk stomp from KP. Catching two. Aegis still there for the fact. Epicenter is doing his work. The Juggernaut, he's dying. The Aegis Immortal and time down a fraction of a second before. Miracle's gone. The side will get a revenge. KP will fall. Kuro tries to end the trees, but the exodus from SCC, they're having the damage output to do it. 3 heroes gone from Team Liquid. I want a counter on that Aegis. It had to be half of a second in the timing of the expiration date. And then food poisoning for Liquid.
Visibility.
Don't eat off food, bro.
All right. Well, I was wondering when Liquid went for this play to push bottom if they could have just taken mid racks. You know, that I was thinking, okay, here comes the butterfly. Well, let's have a look at this.
Yeah, here's the fight. So KP gets the double stun. Karka brings in a huge amount of damage, but it's SCC that could just stand in the middle of the fight, and there's that timing. The Juggernaut.
It must have been within a second. We saw him have it, then the click was over on the Necro, and he died with the Aegis.
You heard the sound go off at the same time as the Juggernaut died.
Yeah.
That's what made it so damn
That's
close.
timing.
Yep.
Timing for you.
I'm wondering if Newbie had the counter in their mind. If they did, that was pinpoint accuracy, and Miracle could scratch his head and go, you know what, why me? Why me? But this is what Newbie needed. They can turn the graph around, the experience kicks back up. That was a very good fight for them. The gold doesn't swing anywhere near as much.
It's not
but they hold their high ground and they keep Liquid out.
Yeah. And Veno is going to close in at level 25, which could make their base defense a lot easier. Probably going to get that triple Plague Ward HP damage talent.
What everyone does.
Make it a lot harder for Liquid to siege high ground. Now, the one thing going for Liquid still, even though that fight went wrong, they obviously took the 2 tier 3 so they can get maybe the secondary shrine and set up for Roshan at some point soon. They will want that next Aegis before they go high ground. I think with this first Aegis, they should have probably taken the mid-racks. I'm pretty sure Newbie could not have contested that. And you get the wave bottom to reach the towers, back doors off, and then you go mid. But Liquid tried to get a little bit too much in that one play.
They tried to win TI in one play.
It's still not a disaster for them. Like, they're still in a good position in this game. We're making it sound like Newbie are full on back in the game. I still think Newbie have backs against the wall. You know, map control-wise is looking tricky for them. Liquid still have that incredible team-like combination that we've just seen win games time and time again.
Bush is coming in on bottom lane.
Something's exciting.
We're looking at heroes picking up arms. That's what it's about. What you want to look at is Newbie in just a second. They're grouping up, ready for a smoke tank. They have a fresh gem of True Sight given over to Karka. Also want to point out the fact that Karka spent as much money as he possibly can. He's still 900 short of the Aghanim Scepter, so you can look towards the buybacks of Newbie. And currently, only the Death Prophet has buyback available. But Liquid, they want to fight. They're 5-man smoked up, moving towards Newbie. But Newbie are home. They are definitely lights on.
This is still going to allow Liquid to get wards out if they have any. They do have 2 wards on Kuro. So if this smoke quote-unquote fails, they get map control ready to approach. And this is a good smoke. Like, sometimes you don't find kills, but if you get the map control, good enough. Oh.
GH, he doesn't know.
Close call.
To be honest, I thought GH was able to smell out the Armadillo that was running right behind KP, but now it's Newbie who will group up themselves. They'll sentry ward down. They see the fact there's an observer and sentry on the hill, so SCC will break his own smoke. And Liquid, a 5-on-5 fight looks to be what's brewing on the top lane. They have their own defensive observer ward where the shrine used to be. SCC's the man on the front lines, but it's KP with fresh Solar Crest and Pipe of Insight. You're gonna need to trigger these off perfectly in order to find the opening. Karka, yeah, that ain't real, man. No matter how much it is being microed, there's not something, at least there's no chronosphere to commit. Never forget. Let's roar a ball.
So, 1 minute for Roach. If Liquid are sitting on this high ground, they're probably not going to move, because why would they? They could just stay in this area. Never mind, they're going to...
I'll take that as tribute.
Newbie's trying to make the most out of it. The Observer Ward saw the Courier still floating around inside the Dire jungle. So Karka can go to bottom, get some momentum, get some farm, and he needs that Aghanim Scepter up.
I think, so what Liquid are thinking here is, we have good vision up here. I thought they were going to stay in this area, but they want to push one more wave out mid and check the road. In many situations, you would see that the team with the high ground vision stay there with like 4 heroes, sent one hero scouting into that Roche pit. But it was simply this mid wave that they wanted to take care of. Now that that's done, they're starting to get back into
Yule steps up, not drop it back down again. Out of the Yule sends the hit. Kaka connects on his stun, follow from KP, but Mind Control dragging them back in unwillingly into the fight. KP, he's got no way out, no stampede available. Two heroes lost from Newbie. Liquid have opened the window.
This is at the very minimum buyback force. Maybe they will even get the tier 3.
They don't have those upgraded wards yet from Moogie, so the defense is nowhere near as strong. Yeah, the buyback from SCCC is used. There is no buybacks available from Newbie. So even contesting around Roshan's a dangerous thing. If that fight goes haywire, Team Liquid will be crowned champions.
Yeah, they're going to push out mid, same logic again, sending in Miracle here. They have a couple of Radiant solutions with 15 seconds on them, so they're going to shove out this wave and go into this Roche pit that they are 100% sure has spawned, because I think we're close to maximum spawn timer. They will, however, hesitate a little bit, showing a lot of respect to Newbie, who would be 4 on 5 without their Centaur and even a trying to TP on.
And they don't have Stampede for 15 seconds, but it's a bait. Like the scanner's come in from Radiant, now it hasn't flagged red. But Liquid have gone back to just keep farming up in the jungle. Are they waiting for a critical item? There is something coming on the courier. It's the full BKB from Miracle. That's what's coming. That's what's going to give Liquid the surprise advantage in the next team fight.
They're going to send in a Juggernaut to hit this Plague Ward, still not triple. So close to 25 for Mugi, but might come in just a little bit too late.
Someone give this man some space. He needs it. Even Shaman was coming to help and just push out the wave. But you are right, without those upgraded Plague Wards, without Liquid having to fight through basically attack towers,
Go for me.
they are still the superior ones coming into the team fight at the moment. SDCC does have a little bit more life to work with. Now he's got that plus 10 armor from the Plague Mail. So trying to at least survive the damage. Miracle, in fact, he's also got that Diffuser Blade now upgraded to his 2nd level. So much to work with. Buyback is available for the Venomancer and Centaur, plus the ES and the Necro. So both sides having 2 buybacks for this fight, while Moogie litters the field with Plague Wards. And he has the upgrade now, so he has the plus, the 3 times Plague Ward HP damage available.
Liquid will get the information they're waiting for. Their bottom wave is pushing so hard that Newbie has to send a hero back to defend. It's going to be the Centaur, and I think this will make Liquid move up. See MATUMBAMAN immediately moving into the river, starting to try to deal with Plague Wards. Yeah, that's great fun.
Yeah, this isn't going to happen.
They're managing that.
Moogie can just camp the mid lane. He'll use a couple of Plague Wards in the mid, but that's why GH looks for his opportunity. Coming under the cover of Shadow Blade, ventures across the river, getting his feet wet.
Can't really see an opening there.
Yep.
They just want some... see, that is the problem that Liquid's lineup has, right? They don't have that vision. They don't have any way of scouting except planting wards, so they can't really set up their amazing team fight unless they know exactly what the enemy team is. So that's what was presented.
Is it a never-ending standoff because of this?
I think Liquid could, once again, just try to push out bottom and force a reaction, or they could roll. Close call, but Kaka gets out. So Liquid can try to force in bottom. Since there's no tier 3 tower, these barracks have to be defended, but current momentum is going the way of Newbie.
He's got that Gem of True Sight. They're trying to get rid of the Observer Ward they saw on the other side of the hill, so the Plague Ward does it in 2 shots. And Team Liquid, this is not something they want to lose, so they're going to 4-man smoke up. Miracle just used his spin. This feels so much like bait. Boogie feels it too. Scaling into Miracle. They're not committing too heavily in with the Venomancer. Remember, he has that BKB to react. Knowing what's all about Miracle, the Forest Strike from Kaka. It'll connect all on bids for KP. He'll get the sun off the mouse that was the middle of the field. Dark here. Conan up. Miracle. The Echo Slam there from the edge of the Omni side. And damage out for 2 big. With the side. SCC is gone for 2 minutes. The Lich Chamber bouncing back down. Kaka trying to hide himself, but right now it's all Liquid. They have taken down 4. He'll get the buyback from the Venomancer. GH for the Bolter. He won't even die for this. Liquid lose nothing, but take everything from Newbie.
That was so close. Miracle with 5% HP got off that Omni Slash, and it turned the entire fight. GH waited as long as he could on that bait, coming with the Echo Slam that broke the Jackals and let Miracle get his spell off. And Liquid, that looks so scary. It really looked like Miracle would die, and if he falls there, it's a different story. I don't even think he had buyback on the Juggernaut at that moment. They got a lot of gold from the fight. They'll take the road. And they're gonna more than likely just head down mid. They have 10 seconds on healing ward, so Miracle can pull again.
And they can just do the same treat and just put Miracle on the front lines. Let's have a look at that moment once more. So
he
Miracle,
wants this DD.
he does.
Instant stun, blink away, connect again. Now they're gonna shackle in a moment. So here are the shackles. Miracle's dropping so. There's the Echo Manta. Omni. Just barely getting bailed out by GH.
And with that double damage upgrade, it's too much. And here comes Liquid into the melee racks on mid. Still no death profit for 40 seconds. Liquid doing severe damage to the newbie homes. They'll rotate towards the bottom. The tier 3 towers, that was mere prep work for Liquid. Now they follow through. A nice Burrow strike on the 2. They need more plague wars, they need more defense, but Miracle doesn't give 2 hoots. Just keeps beating through the building. Fortifications there to protect the range rack and buy time for Death Prophet to come back alive again. When she's up, she still won't have Exorcism. It'll be on cooldown for another 38 seconds. Miracle, a quick push back. That's the Hurricane Pike going to work. MATUMBAMAN sticking with it. Team Liquid, they're going to make the play for Megas. Death Prophet, 5 seconds until she's up. The Hawkstomp, plus the Gale, into the Necrophos. Mouse they've got really good range for that Aghanim's upgrade, so they can defend inside the base. Liquid can also wait this out. The Shackles, it holds Miracle. They just keep chaining him across the universe. They hold him. Kaka wants to come out for more, but be careful. GH has Blink Echo Slam up and running.
Healing ward in the back. Liquid are so close. Just one more good fight. They know there can't be buybacks on Newbie's lineup. They must have done so much economical damage that any big kill.
They see everything. Here comes the Echo Slam. Is it going to be enough or not yet? The future is down. Necro control. It's a nice oldie from Boogie. Maybe the regeneration is enough. Miracle. The agency model will pop face. Able to shackle him forever. Holding him. Up they come once more. No Hex. No instant unavailable. Omni Slash on top of Boogie. The Shrines are doing enough. And it is all a Miracle show. Double kill for him. Defuse away. NCCC. Centaur controlling the backline. The Exorcism. It needs to do some damage. But right now, Newbie dropping like flies. And GG. It's done. Liquid will be the first team in the history of the international Newbie.
They have been absolutely fantastic over the last 2 days. Liquid, they were so close to elimination like 2 or 3 times in a row. And every single time they overcame it. And today they just looked like just flat out the best team in the world. This series, it's not only a 3-0, it was pretty convincing wins for the